Making his way to the lake for the second time, the disciple saw with a remarkable sight. The once turbid water had settled, and now it was crystal clear, pure as the morning dew. Once upon a time, the great Buddha traveled alongside his devoted followers, traversing from one town to another. As they ventured forward, they happened upon a serene lake. Feeling the need to rest, they decided to halt their expedition for a while and find solace in the tranquility surrounding them. As the group settled down, one of Buddha's disciples, filled with curiosity, approached him with a question that had been weighing heavily on his mind. "Dear Master," the disciple began, "how can we find calmness amidst the turbulence of disturbing thoughts?" Sitting comfortably beneath the shade of a towering tree, Buddha turned his serene gaze towards his disciple. He then spoke softly, "My dear disciple, I find myself quite thirsty. Would you be so kind as to fetch some water for me from this lake?" Eager to please his revered teacher, the disciple willingly accepted the task and made his way towards the nearby lake. As he reached its shores, he noticed a group of people busily washing their clothes, causing the water to become agitated and murky. Determined to obtain pure water, he walked further, searching for a spot where the water appeared clearer and unpolluted. Finally, he found a suitable spot. However, just as he was about to collect the water, a rumbling bullock cart rumbled by, stirring up the sediment and turning the water muddy. Disheartened, the disciple decided it was futile to bring back such impure water to his revered teacher. He returned empty-handed, his spirit dampened by his perceived failure. Upon his return, the disciple bowed before Buddha and recounted his unsuccessful endeavor. Several hours passed, and Buddha broke the silence by asking the disciple to make another trip to the lake and retrieve some water. The disciple obeyed. Making his way to the lake for the second time, the disciple saw with a remarkable sight. The once turbid water had settled, and now it was crystal clear, pure as the morning dew. Filling a pot with the pristine liquid, he carefully carried it back to Buddha. Arriving at the master's side, the disciple presented the pot of water. With a gentle smile, Buddha posed a question. "Tell me, my dear disciple, was the water still muddy when you returned?" Overjoyed by the change in the water's appearance, the disciple responded excitedly, "No, master. The mud had settled and the water was perfectly clean this time. I have brought you a pot of pure water to drink." Buddha's eyes sparkled with wisdom, his voice carrying a serene melody. "Ah, my dear friend, you have discovered the answer to your own question. Just as the mud settles in the water when given time, so too does the mind find tranquility when you give it a break. When your thoughts are disturbing, you should not strive to calm your mind forcefully. With patience, it will settle on its own. Effortlessly, your mind will regain its serenity." Deeply moved by Buddha's profound words, the disciple felt a profound understanding blossom within his heart. He realized that the restless waves of the mind, much like the turbid water, would eventually settle, granting clarity and peace. From that day forward, he embraced the teachings of his enlightened master, carrying the wisdom of the calm mind wherever his journey led him. You see, when our minds are filled with disturbing thoughts, we don't need to forcefully try to calm them down. Instead, we should give ourselves some time and space. Just like the muddy water in the lake, eventually the turbulence within us will settle naturally, and our minds will regain clarity and calmness effortlessly.